Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl here, the one that started it all. And you know it. You know why you're here? Another movie review. And this one. yeah, I gotta say, yeah. This one was requested by a new automation. Now, they had requested that I watch the K.G.F franchise. But unfortunately, I couldn't watch the second one because the second one wasn't released. Chapter 2 wasn't released yet. But a very kind soul by the name of Parish Dalby, took it upon themselves to inform me that Amazon, which I still have the Prime membership on the free trial, I gotta X that out, or see if I can bum off an associate, someone I know. That they let me know that on the 27th, which was yesterday, that K.G.F Chapter 2 was to be released, and therefore I can watch it. And I did. I had to watch it again today to make sure I understood what was going on, because the pacing was a bit off for me, but that's my only complaint. But all in all, I still liked it. Golly, a lot of twists and turns. It's like, damn, give a girl a break here. I'm still trying to understand what happened prior to that. But I would say, and I know a lot of people are going to hate on me for this, but you know what? It's my opinion. I thought it was a hell of a lot better than RRR. My opinion, sorry, but I thought it was a bit better. Basically, the story is now being told by the grandson, because the previous narrator from the first film had a stroke, and therefore their grandson is narrating from here on out. So basically, it is picking up where the last story left off. Now, we knew Rocky won. Rocky was going to win. He killed Barat and has gained control over the K.G.F mines. He still has Rena as collateral to ensure cooperation with Andrews and the rest of the guys that want to take him down. In which, since he now has control over the mines, he asks for 8 mines to continue to start mining those ones. When Kamal protests, he kills him. And then Andrews tries to, recapture Rana again as a ruse to get Rocky out, and doesn't go so well. He gets Rana back, and he starts making deals left and right, gaining control over a Bombard when he killed this one dude, Setty, Setty, I believe that was his name, and gains control. Now the story continues back and forth, trying to regain territory, trying to get as much territory as he can. Rocky is warned that a woman of parliament named Sen is going to rise in power, and he will be in trouble. He doesn't really take him seriously, but she, in 1981, she gets elected and is coming after him. Although at one point he does sort of surrender, gives him evidence of his crimes of money laundering. And it's kind of weird because she doesn't do anything about it. Although prior to this, she raided a good amount of his mines to find gold, but she couldn't find it. She doesn't. It's kind of weird. She did that, but she won't, take him in, because other members of parliament are there. They've done wrongdoings too, and I guess she didn't want to cause too much attention on herself. So it's kind of a bit of an odd situation, but Andrews is still butthurt about his defeat. that he starts to grow a plan. He starts to get a plan out and things like that. Whew. Then Rena, Reena, falls in love with Rocky. They get married, and she becomes pregnant and has a kid. Oh, doesn't have a kid, but is about to have a kid. However, she is killed by Andrews, shot fatally. And out of rage, Rocky, and he gets his men and everything out and goes to attack Andrews and everyone else and kills them off. Then this scene, it was like, what? I knew something was gonna happen, but I didn't think that was gonna happen. That's why I had to rewatch it again to make sure that I understood it. So, Pandion, Pandion was the one, I had to write his name out. Pandion was the one that warned Rocky about Sen growing in power and that he needed to watch his back. Because if she got elected, she would do everything she could to take him down. So, when she's doing a speech, he goes in and kills him. But it was all part of his plan. He showed Andrews the hidden passageways of the mines. He was there to gain his trust and everything. It was a huge, elaborate plan. He even warned people what would happen if Andrews did kill Rana. It was just this big, elaborate plot to get Rocky. And it worked because Sen, the governor, well, not the governors, but the head member, orders a death warrant. You see him, you kill him on the spot. He is armed and dangerous. He's a dangerous man. He is too dangerous to be put to jail and trial. Kill him on the spot. The Indian army. She called the army to go after this dude. She called the army. He's trying to escape. He's trying to leave, so he's leaving as much gold as he can. And he goes to the ship, and, he tells, like, keep mining, keep doing your job, things like that. Sen, because she found the ship where he was. The ship where he was. And bombed it. He dies, and all the gold that he had taken with him is lost. But here's the kicker. In the end, in the mid-credits, in the end, there's supposedly a draft for the third chapter, the final draft of the third chapter. In the post-credits, there is information of Rocky's criminal history, of his crimes between 1978 to 1981 in U.S. and other 16 countries. When did he go to the U.S.? Wait, I missed that part. Did I miss something? Because everything took place. Oh my God, but it's crazy. What was he doing there? And my question is, what's the final draft going to be? The third one? How can there be a third one? Or maybe he was never on the ship. It was a ruse. I don't know, folks. I don't know. But this was a good one. I don't know. The pacing, okay. Sometimes it was a good pace. Other times it dragged. Other times it was way too quick. But I don't know. There was so much stuff. There was so much going on that I'm still trying to process, It was a good one. I'm going to give it a solid 9.5 in my book. 9.5 in my book. Would I watch the third one? I think so. If it's going to be as good as this one, because they opened it. They opened a door. I thought for sure, because his story took place from 1951 to 1981. And he was never seen again after 1981. So if he was never seen again in 1981, then why make a third film? Unless, like I said, it was probably a ruse. This was all part of his plan that no one saw coming. He probably sent gold to all those places, including the U.S., in case of anything. If at any time things got hairy, he would go there and wait it out, or start a new business and take care of business in Bombay, and the K.G.F mines from other places so they wouldn't catch him. Like the gun is loaded, but it's not in his hand. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know, but that's just me. If I got myself, if things got that hairy, and I'm doing everything I can to try to keep territory, to keep everything in the way it's supposed to be, I will be smart. I mean, you hear about all these rich people always go to Switzerland. Nobody count in Switzerland because, especially those who are doing bad stuff with money, things like that. I've seen it in a lot of movies. I wouldn't be surprised if it's happening in real life. But usually they would keep accounts in Switzerland. And they were build up. And if they ever committed a crime that could hold money laundering or anything like that, tax exemption, they would flee to Switzerland because of jurisdiction. And things like that. It's like a haven. I don't know. It's got to be a haven. I've seen it in movies and TV shows. Look at Billions. Axelrod ran to Switzerland with his billions and billions of dollars in Swiss currency, and he was fine. He went in hiding. But who knows? I mean, if I was like that, I would send money to places in case things got hairy. At least I would still be taken care of. So who knows? Maybe he's still alive under a different alias, still having control over his territories while being in another country. That's gotta be it. That's probably what the third one is. The third one is history that we don't know about. If the third one becomes a daggone prequel, I'm going to be very, very disappointed because that's my biggest pet peeves when it comes to movies. Here's the thing. I don't like it when there's a movie, like, for example, The Huntsman and Winter's War. I had mixed feelings about that because it was a prequel sequel. It served as a prequel to show how the Snow Queen, the White Queen, she's the Snow Queen, how she came to be. And it also tells the origins of the Huntsman, played by Chris Hemsworth. And then it fast forwards and takes place after the events of Snow White and the Huntsman. And then that's where the sequel plays out. I don't like it when they do that because you focus more on the prequel part than you do the sequel. And second of all, what I really, really do hate, and Bionicle did it, but I would give them a pass, but then again, they should have done it in order if they were going to do it that way, was, of course, with Bionicle Mask of Light, you were introduced to the franchise. You were introduced with the toys and the characters because that's how I was introduced to Bionicle. My brother had the toys, but it was never said what were they. We never had information. It wasn't until the movies that we got our information. And then when the other lines came out, other movies came out. So, like I said, they got away with it because it was the toys. They had to, the toys, they don't know what can be developed. It's Lego. Lego can do whatever they want, but they don't have, okay, we're going to do this line, that line, and that line. No, they're going as they're going. Every line can change or stay the same. It's Lego. Lego is pretty much Lego. But you have Mask of Light, Legends of Metro Nui, and then you had Web of Shadows, which was still within the Metro era. And then you had Mata Nui, Legends of Mata Nui, which it just like, what the heck happened to the Nika? What happened to the Parakas? What happened to those? Like, where are those movies, But and Hellraiser is another good example. I mean, they've done the crime of like every movie they had, they was still focusing on the last movie prior to that, and then within that same movie, they would start the new chapter, which I thought was very, very stupid and irresponsible. It's one thing like you take a look back at the events to understand what's going on now, and then you're focusing on the events that's happening now in that sequel. So hopefully the third chapter won't be a prequel, because if it is, I'm not watching it. I hate that. That is my biggest prequel. If you are going to do a prequel, do the prequel first, and then the next chapter second, and then the continuation of that chapter third. Because you can't be doing that. That's not right. That is not right. Because that is what you would call a filler. Okay, not a prequel, a filler. Because you're filling up the space there until the next chapter of the previous story gets to it. That is not right. That is wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Big no-no. Big no-no. But we'll see what happens. Who knows? But yeah, the second chapter I did like. The second chapter was awesome. 9.5, folks. 9.5, I give it. The question is, what will the third chapter be? Because sometimes third films don't do so well. Sometimes the second movie don't do so well. But, you take a leap of faith and you go from there. See what happens. But to me, it was pretty good. That last part was a doozy. Like I said, I had to watch that part again to fully understand what happened. Everything was coursed. Everything went a plan. Everything went exactly to Pandian's plan, even though he did. But everything went with what he needed to do. So yeah, we'll see what happened. We'll see what happened to Rocky. We'll see what happened to Rocky, folks. But yeah, it was a doozy. I'm still processing it. So you guys have a wonderful day. If you guys haven't watched it yet, watch it. If you guys don't want to watch it, okay, fine. But I liked it. It was just as good as the first. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and be safe out there, guys. Okay, bye.